Welcome to Diplomacy in Mongolia, where we'll explore the dynamics of Mongolia's diplomatic engagements with its neighboring and partner countries. We will delve into the relationships that define the nation's foreign affairs, providing a balanced and straightforward perspective on interactions between Mongolia and its neighbors. Our focus is on Poland for today's episode. Join us as we shine a spotlight on diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Poland, exploring the collaborations, exchanges, and shared interests that define interactions between our two nations. Ambassador Krzysztof Bojko joined the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Africa, Asia, Australia, and Oceania Department in 1998, later joining the Africa and Middle East Department. From 2000 to 2005, he served in Israel as First Secretary at the Polish Embassy in Tel Aviv. From 2009, he represented Poland at the Embassy in Amman as Chargé d'Affaires and as Ambassador from 2012 to September 2016. In 2017, Ambassador Bojko became an associate professor at the War Studies University. In April 2019, he was appointed Poland's ambassador to Mongolia. He presented his letter of credence to the President of Mongolia, Khaltmagin Bahtuluk, on May 28 of 2019. Today in our interview, we have Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Poland to Mongolia, Mr. Krzysztof Bojko. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
It's my pleasure. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning. I would like to start our interview talking from the diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Poland. And it's been more than 70 years, and this year was a notable year because the President of Poland paid a state visit to Mongolia. Can you share with us about the current status of Mongolia-Poland relations?
Poland was one of the first countries which recognized Mongolia. The year 1950. Since 1950, we have the embassy here, which was closed more or less 20 years ago. I had the privilege to reopen the embassy. This year, we had the visit of Polish President Andrzej Duda, and Mr. Andrzej Duda and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia officially opened the embassy in the new location in the ICC Tower building. The current relation between Poland and Mongolia are really very good in all the sphere, political, cultural, and we have very good economic relation.
During the visit of the President Duda, there was a business forum organized between Polish and Mongolian companies. And looking at the current economic situation, what kind of opportunities do you see for boosting economic and trade cooperation between Polish and Mongolian businesses?
First, I want to underline that it was already second Polish-Mongolian business forum organized by the Polish embassy in Ulaanbaatar since the year 2019. July 2019, we had the first business forum, and 24th of April this year, President Andrzej Duda plus President of Mongolia, Mr. Krzysztof, they opened Polish business forum. We invited almost 60 big companies from Poland, and also about 200 or 250 Mongolian companies participated in this forum. Very active was a small business because our economic relation it is especially Polish export to Mongolia. And what is interesting, many Mongolian small companies import from Poland a lot of stuff, different stuff, food, machinery, clothes, even furniture. Concerning what is also important, during a forum, or exactly before the forum, President Duda signed a few cooperation agreements. Also in the field of cooperation, concerning cooperation in the field of geology. Concerning the future, because it's the most important, I am convinced that we are going to keep current level of economic cooperation. This reached last year in bilateral exchange almost $100 million, so it's a lot. Take under consideration the distance between Mongolia and Poland is almost 10,000 kilometers. And we, as a Polish embassy, we are going to give help to the representative of Polish and Mongolian business to enlarge this cooperation.
When we talk about cooperation between two countries, we cannot live like humanitarian, cultural exchanges. And in terms of culture and education, what kind of works are currently being done?
First, I want to remind that 2 years ago, November 2021, Polish embassy, with cooperation with Mongolian Conservatory, organized second Chopin competition in Mongolia. It was a very big event. We organized a few conferences here dedicated to political science, Polish-Mongolian cooperation, but also last year, November last year, we organized a conference dedicated to agriculture. Almost 10 professors arrived from Poland to participate in this conference. This year, we are going to, and exactly this month, between 27 of November till 2nd of December, we are going to organize so-called Polish-Mongolian Friendship Days. I already opened these days last Thursday and Friday in Erdenet, where we presented Polish movie, Jack the Strong. And also a representative of Polish business had a special meetings with representative of Mongolian business in Erdenet, because I believe that they will start very fruitful cooperation. I want to remind that in Erdenet, Poland had a Polish honorary consulate concerning program in Ulaanbaatar. We are going to organize, together with School of Radio and Television, Polish Film Days. We are going to organize the exhibition of the Polish posters and the pictures which were painted by Mongolian artists who graduated university in Poland. And also 30th of November, we have Polish National Day. I want to use this opportunity to send the best greetings to Mongolian people, because as I know, 26th of November, Mongolian are going to celebrate Constitutional Day. I want to underline that November is a special month for Mongolian and Polish people, because we Poles, we also have Polish National Day in November, exactly 11th of November. But this year we decided to move from 11th to the last week of November. We are also planning to organize beginning of next year a few interesting activities, and especially I want to add that two Polish crew of filmmakers are going to make movies in Mongolia. One movie is dedicated to Ferdynand Ossendowski. He was a Polish traveler who visited Mongolia the year 1921. He spent here in Ulaanbaatar, this time the name of the city was Urga, almost half a year. And after leaving Mongolia, he arrived to United States, where he published a very famous book about Mongolia. The title, Through the Land of Gods, Animals and People. It was one of the biggest bestsellers in 20s and 30s of 20th century. Another movie, a documentary movie. It is a movie about paleontological exhibition organized by Poland by Zofia Kielan-Jaworska between 1963 to 1971 in Gobi Desert. They found in Gobi Desert a lot of dinosaurs bones. As I am convinced that the movie will present to the world how interesting Mongolia is, and it is good for Poland and good to Mongolia to speak about our bilateral cooperation, especially in the field of culture and science.
Talking about relations between two countries, there's also like Mongolian studies quite developed in Poland. Notably, Benedict of Polonia in 13th century was one of the first Polish explorers who visited the late, at the time, Mongol Empire. And can you share with us about what is the current status of Mongolian studies in Poland?
First, returning to Benedictus Polacus, or is Latin. In Polish language, we say Benedict Polak. He was not theoretically he was a traveler, but in fact he was a monk, and he was an envoy of the Pope, who arrived to Karkorim in 1246 with Mr. Carpini, Italian. They brought a special letter from the Pope to the Mongolian Khan. Speaking about teaching of Mongolian language in Poland, so I want to underline that this is very popular in Poland since 20s and 30s of last century, so more than 90 years ago, at the Polish University in Warsaw, and also in Lviv, they began to teach Mongolian language. One of the famous Polish Mongolists was Mr. Kotwicz, Professor Kotwicz. He visited Mongolia a few times before First World War. And later he became the first dean of the Institute of Mongolian Studies at the university in Lviv. After the war, we had a few very good Mongolists. One of them, very famous, was Professor Kałużyński. He wrote the history of Mongolia. And today, exactly today, the most active Institute of Mongolian Studies is at Warsaw University, and was established, if I'm not mistaken, 1932. They are in Warsaw the best Polish Mongolists, very active. They publish books about Mongolian history, and Mongolistic is very popular in Poland among the students.
When we talk about Mongolia and Poland, they have very similar sides. For example, in 1990s, there was a transition to democracy and open market economy. And in terms of strengthening democratic governance, are there any works and projects being conducted from the Polish embassy?
Yes, first returning what you said. Before 1990, for many decades, we were in the same club. We were socialistic countries, yes. So Poland was very popular at this time. Mongolia was very popular for a Polish, let's say, people. Poland built here factories. We invited many students from Mongolia to Poland. According to our knowledge, we on the Polish University till today, more than 1,000 or something, 1,000 to 2,000 Mongolian students get education. And also we were the pioneers in the democratic changes. Poland in the west, Mongolia in the east. As you know, in 80s in Poland, so-called solidarity movement was established. And the year 1989, this movement won first democratic relation in Poland after Second World War. In Mongolia, a similar election happened in 1990, just 1 year later, and was interesting. And the expert of Polish Solidarity movement, they especially arrived to Mongolia to help, to give a help, and to share experience to Mongolian young people who were deeply engaged in this election, to help them to win the election. They arrived with success. One of them later got a very important medal from the Mongolian president. Today we are during the visit of the Polish president April this year, but also during the visit of the Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs June last year. They spoke a lot about bilateral cooperation, also concerning democratic tradition of our country. It is very important that we know in Poland that Mongolia today is one of the unique democratic country in the East Asia. And this is really very important. We appreciate Mongolian position and the fact that Mongolia it is a democratic country.
Continuing our interview, I would like to ask you, I've been already like a couple of years, more than a couple of years here in Mongolia. And what is your favorite Mongolian cultural experience?
Many, but returning only to the last one. It was 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, Minister of Culture organized a very interesting event, Nomad Week. It was very interesting that not only diplomats, citizens of Mongolia, but also many people from other countries, they had opportunity to see how Mongolian nomads live. They could enter, there is houses, yurts, they could speak with the people, and it was fantastic, frankly speaking. I think that the Mongolian people should be proud that they have a very interesting, very unique culture. And in my opinion, we are observing this year that many tourists is coming to Mongolia. I am convinced that these people, after they will return to their own country, they will promote Mongolia as a very good tourist destination.
You have been working in diplomatic mission for more than 30 years in foreign relations sector. And can you share with us, like from your experience, and what kind of advice would you give to young professionals working in foreign relations and diplomacy sector?
First, I think they must be patient. They must understand the people, especially young people. Of course, historical monuments are very interesting, and we should see these places. But the most important is to speak with local people, to understand their mentality, to know how people live, and of course to read a lot about the country where they are serving. To understand the country. If you are not understanding the country, you don't know anything about the country, anything about the people.
What is the pros or cons of like working as a diplomat, to your experience?
Look, to be a diplomat, from one hand, it is the prestige because you are representing your own country. And it is very fine that you could work as a diplomat. But from the other hand, you are working sometimes thousands of kilometers from your home. You have a problem with direct contacts with your friends, with your family. So from one hand, it is a very interesting job, but you are paying a price for this. Even the children, if they are at school, not in his own country, but in international schools, they are also losing something. So, speaking to all candidates to future diplomats for this profession, they should understand that from one hand, it is a very interesting job. But from the other hand, to be an effective diplomat, you must be deeply engaged in the country where you are, and you are paying for this, losing some contacts with your own country, friends, and sometimes family.
Well, thank you for making time to take part in our interview program.
Thank you very much, and once again, congratulations to all citizens of Mongolia because your Constitutional Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the new episode of Diplomacy in Mongolia. We'll see you next time with more stories on Mongolia's collaborations, exchanges, and shared interests with its foreign partners.